online class, Nariman Metric National Schools. Dear students, today we are going to see the human health and disease, the protozoan disease. Dear students, you know the protozoan microbe is a microbe like that bacteria and virus, which also causes a very dangerous disease to the human beings. Let us see the protozoan disease now. See, the introduction about the protozoan disease. See, generally about 15 genera of protozoans are lives as a parasite. This protozoan lives as a parasite, that means it's enter in human body and causes the disease. Okay. See, these parasites live within the human body and cause so many diseases to the human beings. Okay. The first most disease of protozoan is caused, that is the amoebiasis. This amoebiasis also called as amoebic dysentery or amoebic chorioiditis. It is caused by the Entamoeba histolytica. Okay. Then these parasite lives in the human large intestine. Okay. And in the large intestine, it may eat the food particle and the beneficial bacteria which is present inside the intestine, that also eaten by these Entamoeba histolytica. Okay. Next. See, this is the picture of Entamoeba. See the Entamoeba, see this complete organism covered by a membrane is called plasma layer. And inside is spread over the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm, outermost cytoplasm is called ectoplasm and innermost cytoplasm is called endoplasm. And inside there is a nucleus is also present, and then inside the nucleus there is a endosome is also there, which consisting genetic material, and the food vacuole also presented inside food. Because the amoeba is taking the food by food vacuole, all the food material gathered and engulfed as a food vacuole. So the amoeba taking the food only by a food vacuole. Okay. Next. You see, the infective stage of this Entamoeba histolytica parasite is called as trophozoite. So trophozoite is the infective stage. This stage only enter into the human intestine. Suppose this trophozoite is enter into the human intestine. How to enter the human intestine? By contaminated water or food. Okay. This parasite is going inside the intestine. See what will happen. See, for example, this is the intestine. These parasite, okay, maybe penetrate into the intestine, and they are going to secrete a histolytic enzyme. It is called what enzyme? Histolytic enzyme. And these enzyme, what happens? See, these intestinal wall may be damaged. As a result, there will be ulceration happen. And what will happen? See, the bleeding will come in this intestine, and the severe abdominal pain will be. And the stool may come out with a excess mucus. Okay, the mucus is present in the large intestine to lubricating the intestine, but these mucus may be removed by the stool. These are all the problem causing by this Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, then symptoms of this amoebiasis, okay, can range from diarrhea to dysentery. You know, diarrhea means a watery stool going outside, and dysentery is somewhat concentrated stool. And along with the dysentery, see, the blood and mucus are come out with the fecal matter. Okay, and this Entamoeba histolytica enter inside and causes the dysentery with the stool, with the mucus and blood. That is called amoebic dysentery. It's most dangerous disease, which is called the severe abdominal pain and bleeding, and the mucus also come out with the stools. Okay, how do this amoebic dysentery spreading to one person to other person by a vector? That vector is called houseflies. The houseflies name in scientific name is called Musca domestica. Okay, it is acting as a vector or carrier. It is transmitted the disease one person to other person. How it is transmitted? It is go to sit in the contaminated water or fecal matter. Then it is come to sit in the fresh water or fresh food. Then this fresh water, fresh food eaten by the people, automatically these Entamoeba scyllatica transmitted to one person to other person. So these housefly or these Musca domestica as a very good vector and acting as a transmitting a disease from one person to other person. Okay. The next we see the next more disease for the protozoan, what that is called African sleeping sickness. Okay, it is mostly caused by Trypanosoma piscis. It is caused by what? Trypanosoma piscis. Generally, these Trypanosoma piscis are transmitted by one person to other person by blood sucking these flies. Okay, these flies only transmitted the Trypanosoma protozoan from one person to other person. Okay, there are 3 pieces of trypanosomas which is causing sleeping sickness in man. So the trypanosoma is a protozoan which enter in the human body. It causes the African sleeping sickness or sleeping sickness. The sleeping sickness means the peoples are insomnia or sleeping anytime. That is and also fever, and the disease is not treated means the people died. Okay. The next we move on to this is the Trypanosoma gambians organism. This is a protozoan. You see, the protozoan is completely covered by a membrane called a pellicel. And inside the body, the cytoplasm is also there. And see here, the nucleus is located at the center of the organism. And in anterior part, we see the kinetoplast is present. What is meant by kinetoplast? The kinetoplast is nothing but it is a genetic material. It is called what material? Genetic material. And the reserve food granules are also presented here to supply the energy. Okay, and these Trypanosoma gambians moving from one place to other place with help of this flagella. And this also the flagella, entire body maybe it's present. It is attached by the flagellum by a membrane is called undulating membrane. This undulating membrane attached to this flagella as well as body. Okay. And finally, the flagella is a free terminal which is used to movement of the trypanosoma. This is about the organism of trypanosoma. Okay, next. The types of protozoan also. Already one more protozoan we see that is called Entamoeba scyllatica and the other types. First of all, we see the Trypanosoma gambians. It's one kind of protozoan. These protozoan transmitted to one person to another person by the Glossina papalis, that is called Tis fly. Okay. And these Tis fly transmitted the Trypanosoma gambian protozoan from one person to another person and causes a Gambian or Central African sleeping sickness. Why is called this disease called Central African sleeping means the Trypanosoma gambians are mostly widely spreading in the Central Africa, which causes the millions of people suffered from this disease in Central Africa. That is why it is called Central African sleeping sickness. Okay. The second type is called Trypanosoma rhodesiae. Okay, it is transmitted by Glossina mostians. Is caused a Rhodesian or East African sleeping sickness. Why these species, that means Trypanosoma rhodesiae, is mostly widely spreading in the East African only. There are millions of people are affected in the disease, so that it is called as a East African sleeping sickness. Okay. Then third category is called Trypanosoma cluseus. Okay. It is transmitted by a small bug, the bug namely called Tritoma megastea, and it is causes the disease called Chagas disease. Okay. It is called American trypanosomiasis. Why is called American trypanosomiasis? These species are widely spread in America, particularly first spreading more number of people are affected from the disease in America. So it is called American trypanosomiasis. Okay. Next we see the next type of disease called Kala Azar. The Kala Azar is a Hindi word. Okay. The Kala means block. Kala means block, and Azar means fever. That means it is this fever comes in many people, and the fever maybe comes, the people will die. That is why the name, this is called Kala Azar. Otherwise, it is called visceral leishmaniasis. The visceral leishmanias means it's mostly affected in visceral organ. You know, visceral organ, the organ which is found in the chest and abdomen. So these organ may be affected. So that is why it is called visceral leishmaniasis. It is caused by the protozoan namely called Leishmania donovani. Okay. And these protozoan, how to transmit it to one person to other person only by the vector. That is called cryptomus, is called sandfly. These sandfly only transmitted the Leishmania donovani from one person to other person. Okay, the infection mostly occur in the endothelial cells of the bone marrow, liver, lymph glands and the blood vessels of the spleen. And these are all the infective side of these Leishmania donovani. Okay. If Kala-Azar fever may become to the people, what are the symptoms they show? Means symptoms of Kala-Azar is see weight loss. Completely the weight is lost. And next one, anemia. That means the RBC countdown is reduced and they affect fever. Then next you see the enlargement of spleen and liver. I mean the spleen and liver present in the abdominal region, I mean visceral organ. These organs get inflamed. That is why it is called as visceral leishmaniasis. It is particularly affected the visceral organ in the human body. Okay. Then finally we see the one more protozoan that is called malaria. Okay. The malaria, there are different types of malaria is there because there are different types of species of Plasmodium is there. The first one is called Plasmodium vivax and second is called Plasmodium ovale and third is called Plasmodium malaria and fourth one is called Plasmodium falciparum. There are four kinds of species of Plasmodiums are there which causes the four different types of malaria in human. Okay, next we see these four types of malaria. See, the first one is the Plasmodium vivax species which causes the malaria. That malaria is called tertine or vegan tertine or vivax malaria. Its duration is 48 hours. What's mean 48 hours means these Plasmodium enter into the RBC of human. Then the cycle in take over the duration 48 hours in the RBC. Next only the RBC is burst out. All the Plasmodium liberated into the plasma along with the immunogen poison granules also may be liberated in the plasma. That time that affected person getting in a high fever and chillness. That time only calculated as a duration of this erythroid cycle. So that is this Plasmodium virus take about their complete their cycle is 48 hours. The next one we see the Coton malaria. It is caused by Plasmodium malaria. It will take over the completion of their life cycle in the RBC, take the 72 hours. And the third one is called mild tertine malaria, which is produced by the species Plasmodium ovale. It takes complete the life cycle for 48 hours in the RBC of human. Then fourth one is malignant tertine or Coton malaria. It is produced by the Plasmodium falciparum. It takes about 36 to 48 hours. In these four categories of malaria, this Plasmodium falciparum is a fatal one. It's a malignant type. So the peoples are very deadly in this malaria. Next, the Plasmodium mostly lies in the RBC of the man. Okay. In the RBC of man, these Plasmodia get mature. First of all, these Plasmodium enter in the human body by bite of the female Anopheles mosquito only. Okay, it's enter in the human body as a sporocyte stage. Then it is enter in the human body. First of all, it goes to the liver. Then it goes to the RBC. When it goes to the RBC, it is getting in a mature, and that mature stage is called as a thrombozoites. Okay, the mature condition of this Plasmodium is called thrombozoites. These Plasmodium or this malaria spreading to one person to other person by biting of the female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, this completion of this malaria, dear students, and next class we will see the life cycle of Plasmodium. How to come to the one person to other person, how it is the life cycle is going inside the human body, then how to spread it to the next person. That will be see the next class. In this class, I complete up to this only. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.